Hey guys, if you want a bug out and you want MagnaCut steel, but you don't want to pay any more than the standard S30V version, hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. Welcome to the show where we've got the coolest new knives that have just hit our shelves right here in front of me. And this is a second bonus edition. Normally on Saturdays we put up one of our FAQ videos, but there was so much new stuff that piled up while we were at SHOT Show last week that we had to bring it to you. The first, I say, not Thomas's fault. We'll find something that's your fault though.
No, you'll find something where I'm to blame.
First things first, MagnaCut bug out. 3 new options here. KnifeCenter exclusive bug outs with MagnaCut steel. And like I said, same price as the standard S30V version. Just nuts. You got, well, this version right here with, I don't actually know the exact names of the colors. So we're just gonna say what they look like. We have black, with a green thumb stud and green hardware, stone washed blade. And black blades, we've got red with red hardware, and a, what's this, the olive green, or desert tan, I guess it's somewhere in between those. And matching hardware as well. Very cool. Don't pick it up by the blade, David. Pick it up by the handle. That would be a better idea, don't you think? I think so.
We should take lessons from Joe Flowers on how to hold knives.
Should we get Joe Flowers down here to teach us how to hold knives? Might be a good video, actually. This is big news. I mean, the difference between S30V and MagnaCut, in terms of edge retention, probably not a drastic difference, but the toughness is going to be a lot higher than the S30V. Edge retention was probably going to be a little bit better, too. That means you've got a much more stable edge. You should be able to take it to a slightly thinner angle too, while still maintaining stability thanks to the toughness of the steel. And when you combine that with an already thin blade with a high flat grind, the slicey bug out has gotten even slicier if you do that to it. Just really cool to be able to offer this steel at the same price. Even if it was a little bit higher, it would be nice, but at the same price is really dang cool. There's also a good chance if you have any handles out there, then bug out handles are a big aftermarket thing. We saw some here at the Knife Center as well. And you want an upgrade there, you've been looking for just the right thing. Now you can get MagnaCut for your aftermarket handles as well, without paying for a fancier handle to start with just to get the blade. Very, very cool. Put the boxes there because they have big letters on the side. Boxes don't usually have big letters on the side like that, so we had to show it off. What do you think? I don't know how much to hype this because I feel like they kind of hype themselves due to what it is and the price it is, but link in the description if you want to get your hands on one for yourself.
There was much rejoicing.
Yay! Of course, Benchmade did announce a upcoming MagnaCut bug out direct from them, but that is going to be the new slimmer version with thinner blade stock, aluminum handles, skinnier. The hardware is a little bit different, so it's not going to be a direct, I don't think it's going to be a direct swap with a bunch of the aftermarket stuff that's out there. And it's going to be more than twice as expensive as one of these MagnaCut bug outs. So there you go. Also new from Benchmade, the mini SOCP daggers, new knives right here. This is actually a really good option if you're looking for a tactically oriented everyday carry that could do everyday carry stuff quite easily, and you could even throw it in your pocket thanks to the sheath. And the price is not that bad either for a US made knife, $100, 100.00. For that, you get a chunky piece of 440C with a finger ring at the back, maybe hold it that way, with a short blade, 2.22 inches, although a longer version of this is, of course, still an option. They have not superseded the longer version with the shorts right here. But check out the sheath. It's really nice. You could rig this up as a neck carry. You could throw it inside the waistband. You could throw it in a pocket. Lots of options with that right there, and it is ready to go. Fully ambidextrous as well. Clicks in either direction, so very easy to integrate right or left-handed, strong hand or weak hand, what have you. And you just got a useful blade. Is it going to slice as cleanly as the Bugout? No. But it'll still cut. It'll still do a pretty decent job for everyday carry. One more thing, actually. I should show the extra bits right here. It does come with some paracord, so you could do your lashing for a neck carry. It also comes with this small leather plate. You could attach it right there, and that'd be an easy way, again, to carry it inside the waistband, using that either as the retention flap or to have that side against your skin to be a little kinder on the old love handles. But anyway, the options are optional, and it's good to have options, especially at a $100 price point. Put that back over there, and let me know what you think of this knife. What else do you do? Greg Thompson, the designer from the SOCP organization. Next up, I have a new release under the SIG Sauer brand, which of course are made by Hogue. If you weren't familiar, Hogue makes all of SIG's knives these days. This is the K365, a compact everyday carry automatic knife with very good switchblade action. 166 bucks and some change. You've got a 2 3/4 inch blade, MagnaCut here as well, and a great slicing profile here as well. Let's see. I bet you, oh, our website got it right. Sometimes they'll call this sort of thing a drop point, but it is a straight clip at the edge right there. But nice and thin and slicey, and some of the best factory edges in the business thanks to Hogue. The handles are injection molded. This one is gray, but black handle with the black blades also available. There's also a like all brown version for a different sort of low profile or camouflage look. Deep carry pocket clip, flush mounted screws and inset into the polymer handles right there, and that is reversible with a nice clean plate on the other side to fill the gap on whichever side you're not using, right or left-handed right there. It's kind of interesting sometimes to see an automatic knife with a blade cut out, because normally you would, open a knife with that, but you're not going to do that. So in this case, it's really just for style. Is it needed? I don't know. It certainly looks good. I wonder if that means there's going to be a manual version in the future, and that's just... I know nothing. I do not know if they're doing that or not. Just a conjecture on my part. But anyway, very cool little knife. And it's an automatic knife. It's actually built to slice. A lot of times, automatic knives tend towards, tactical things that may or may not be made for slicing efficiency. It might be more for durability and, tactical situations. This thing's just a nice knife. Next up, speaking of tactical, this is the Defiant 7 by Alan Olishewitz M320E fixed blade with a really wicked 3V blade here, offering a lot of toughness and good edge retention too, being a powder metallurgy steel, not stainless, so keep that in mind. And if you didn't guess already, this is sort of the Defiant 7's take on the classic Mark II fighter, the USMC, the K-bar, whatever you want to call it. It's not an official K-bar, but same type of thing. Same pattern, basically. 6 3/4 inch blade. This one has a tiger stripe camo finish, but there is a standard finish. There's a black finish that's also available. There's also a more dagger-like profile available, which we've had before. You could check that out as well. That has a stonewash blade. $385 for all of these. $365 for the daggery version. That'd probably be the version I go, but yeah, I like a dagger. Anyway, this has the classic clip point. We have injection molded handles here, protruding butt plate here at the back. This is a full length tang. And one of the things I like about it from just a utilitarian perspective is the way the guard kicks forward here at the back. It means it gives you a good thumb ramp there, which is something a standard guard on what this type of knife normally has does not offer. Also, due to how minimized it is, it also allows you to get over onto the spine with your thumb if you're doing, this thing, whatever that thing's called. Yeah.
Outdoorsman are you?
A tired one. Apologies all around. Between jet lag and clearing ice and snow from me and my neighbors' houses the last few days, it's a tired outdoorsman. Anyway, Kydex sheath. Click is nice and positive. As you can see, comes with a drop loop here at the back. MOLLE compatible straps with pull the dot snap, so they only come off in one direction. It's not gonna snag on you right there. And let me just see, haven't checked tech lock compatibility, but we've got plenty of rivets along the side. I'd be surprised if they weren't spaced if there weren't some that were spaced to use a tech lock. And indeed, you could use a tech lock if you'd rather have that, which would be a little less bulky than this setup right there. So again, good to have options. Feels really good. Where's that? All of these so far have been US made. So that's cool too. This next one is not US made, but it is more attainable in price. This is a new Phil Wilson design from Spyderco. This is the Shelter Cove. We've got a nearly 6-inch trailing point blade. The steel is a 8CR 17 MOV, so more CRs, so more chromium than like your 8CR 13 or 14, which theoretically should mean it's slightly more stainless. Comes with contoured black G10 handles with really nicely finished pins. Even though, you know, at this kind of price, $90 for a, you know, an 8CR blade, you're not getting, you know, a higher performance steel. What you're getting here is really fine attention to detail. The way this handle is finished, the polish, the level, the, you know, lack of any sort of gaps on the tang and around the handles, it feels like a hand-finished or handmade handle. So that's really where you're getting your money's worth on this particular knife. I would definitely classify this as sort of an aquatic or fishing knife. Not quite fillet type of flex. It has a little bit of flex to it, as you can see there, but it seems almost kind of incidental to the mission. It's not made to be a flexy knife, but it should be very sharp and very efficient at, you know, dispatching the aquatic critters. Comes with a leather sheath as well. Little bit of molding going on with it already, so you don't have to, you know, stretch it right out of the box to get a perfect fit, and a standard belt loop on the back. Let's go crazy. Something also with an upswept blade. This is from Rike Knife, and it is a tactical scissor. And yes, sometimes the word tactical is overused, but in this case, I'm not going to fault them too much. $215 for this scissor or knife, or what is it? Well, it is a shear type of scissor, spring-loaded as you can see, but it has a trick. It does lock into the closed position, and it does come with a Kydex sheath with a Dots style attachment right there. Not a Dots branded, but that particular style.
They're just elven tactical shears.
Yeah, they do have sort of an elvish look, especially with the that back there.
Very Art Nouveau.
Come up with an elvish name for this, why don't you? But the trick up its sleeve is not the actual sheath. The trick up its sleeve is when you're in the open position here, pull the lock back down, and you can separate the sides, and this side right here becomes a knife. Each side of this is, I was going to say each side is chisel ground. This side is flat but very crisp, and the curved, you know, outward facing belly here has a chisel ground edge, and you've even got this inner kind of like Yakut style hollowed out section. And you could use this as a karambit in a tactical situation. Should you? Hey, who am I to judge? Is this the most practical karambit on the planet? No. Is this a good set of kitchen shears? I don't know. Do I care? Not really. At the end of the day, what this is not necessarily something that is made to be uber practical. It's kind of something that's made to be cool. And its construction is not gimmicky. I will give it that. Everything about it feels pretty dang solid. You know, I mean, these are solid chunks of steel here in this case. 4116, highly stainless, pretty tough, which for something like this could probably come in handy. I don't know. Practical? I can't answer that question. Cool? Yeah, I think so. Worth it for you? Only you can decide. All right, let's have a true budget knife to counterbalance like the expensive, more expensive stuff here at the front. How about this? This is the RoseCraft Blades Awanata. I'm going to say Awanta. Do you want one? Awanata, sorry. A small slip joint folder, 2-inch D2 blade with that sheep's foot profile. You can get it in this Mexican blanket G10 or some more standard colors like black, blue, and green are available. Yeah, that's all the other options. They're all the same price at this $20 mark. You've got an oversized hoop at the back, which means you could carry this on a keychain if you want. Pretty darn good walk and talk as well for such an inexpensive knife. And nothing about it feels inexpensive. Like, it snaps open really nicely. You've got a nice clean transition from the back spring to the blade right there. Feels like it looks, you know, pretty perfectly evenly ground anyway. And you've got a very sharp edge on that D2 blade right there. There you go. Huh? I really like on shorter slip joints like this, when they have this style of blade, the tip is so far below the center line that when you're really putting pressure on that tip, the pressure is pushing the blade further back into the open position. So if you're concerned about safety, being as there's no lock right here, that is at least, you know, something that helps when you're putting pressure on that tip. Of course, safety's on you. Ultimately, make sure you're using your knife safely, because, you know, even the safest knife can cut you, of course. Next up, a rather large everyday folder. This is the Noctar from Bestech and designer Komodo. And the price on this is a very reasonable $75 for what you're getting right here, which is contoured G10 in a few different colors, and a large 3.7-inch blade in Sandvik 14C 28N. So it's stainless and is very tough and can take a very fine edge as well. One of the things I've always loved about this particular steel, kind of similar to what we were talking about with the MagnaCut Bugouts before, this is a highly tough stainless steel, and it has a very stable edge, and you can put a very fine edge on it very easily, including a very narrow angle right at the edge. It's got the toughness to, you know, as long as you're not being an idiot with the knife, to hold a very narrow edge, which means it's going to feel sharper even longer than its you know, edge retention spec would suggest. Reversible pocket clip, non-deep carry, but you do have the left or right side option, which is always a good thing on a ambidextrous lock, such as the crossbar lock. And let's open it with the blade cut out here. You do need a little bit of wrist action to do that, because of course, you know, a crossbar locking knife never has a real strong detent. But yeah, feels good. Finger safe closing, really satisfying. Flick open as well, and a pretty general purpose blade, I would say. This could be decent as a tactical knife, and for me though, this would be a great outdoors folder slash, you know, survival folder possibly. I do like the strength of a crossbar lock, and I do like the finger guard in a quote-unquote survival design too. But yeah, it's just a great broad drop point. It's going to work broadly. I feel like I'm apologizing for my descriptions today. I'm not sure why that is.
Natural inclination.
I'm just tired, and I'm apologetic when I'm tired. Another Bestech from the Bestechman sub-brand, the Cicada's wing. Very cool version of the Cicada's wing. Usually, Bestechman is the more affordable sub-brand of the already affordable Bestech. I'm not quite sure why they felt the need to differentiate the brands, but no matter, because the knives are certainly quite fine. This one, however, despite being under the Bestechman brand, is more expensive than the Bestech we just looked at, for a few reasons. It's $188, and it has a crystallized titanium handle and MagnaCut blade steel. How about that? Deep carry pocket clip, reversible, nice and flush mounted screws and inset into the handle as well. No blockout plate on the front, however. Blade itself 3.15 with this modified cleaver profile, or, you know, reverse tanto as the website is telling us it is.
You had to apologize.
Maybe. You need to apologize, man. Nice thin slicey blade stock on this as well. We do have ball bearings in the pivot here, as opposed to you know, washers, which you might find more conventionally in something like the US-made Bugout right there. Gives it a slightly different action, but as you can see, and probably hear, it's very nice. Feels very good. So there you go. Another way to get a you know, average-sized, everyday carry MagnaCut crossbar locking knife for not too much money. What more do you want? A few different colors can be had with this crystallized tie blade as well. Next up, these are pretty interesting. It's from GeoKnife. We have the Divid and the Komodo. Was that it? Did I say the name right? Yeah, the Komodo. It's GeoKnife, but I amusingly want to pronounce it like we pronounce the word that is spelled geoduck, which is pronounced gooey duck. So these are the gooey knives. 3 people probably found that amusing, but I said it because I'm amused anyway.
Not in this room.
What we've got going on with these blades here is a copper Damascus. So the steel part, the silver part, is 10CR based steel, or it's a 10CR based Damascus. It's 10CR 15 MOV steel, which is pretty good stuff for the the CR range of imported steels here. It's roughly analogous to something like VG10. And it's interspersed with layers of copper for a very cool look. What that should mean as well is these are gonna, the copper layers should patina with time and give it its own character. Pair that up with a titanium handle. In this case, this one is blue, but other flavors are available. And this one's about 135 bucks and a little bit of change, which is, I think, pretty reasonable for something as exotic as this with titanium handles. Blade length is just over 3 inches, like 3.1. You've got sort of this modified Warncliffe thing. Reverse Tonto on the website. Pretty cool flared handle, in my opinion, as well. It fits my hands pretty nicely. I can get a full 4-finger grip with my slightly larger than average hands if I choke up just a little bit, or I can float my pinky back onto the tail end right here for a slightly different experience, especially nice in those pinch grips, because that pinky can help kind of move the knife around as you're cutting and using that tip. There's a decent amount of knuckle clearance on this too, actually. Yeah, this would make a not half bad food prep folder if you are okay with that shorter length to do that sort of task, actually. That's kind of cool. Milled titanium pocket clip and everything. Not bad, not bad. This one, same price. About the same blade length, 3.1 yet again. A little less bulky handle, however, so this is going to be a little kinder inside the pocket. As you can see, milled clip again. Again, multiple flavors available in the titanium. Ergonomically, it's definitely a 3.5-finger grip in the standard hold right there, but choked up, I can definitely get a full 4-finger grip on that knife as well. No knuckle clearance to speak of on this one that you saw on the Divid, just more straightforward utility. And a sheep's foot blade. No more of this reverse Tonto nonsense.
We'll see.
All right. Those have all been pretty reasonable for what you're getting. Let us venture back into the high end of the price ranges that are out there. WingmanEDC, this is the Mach 3 flipper, and this version is absolutely gorgeous. This series starts with an M390 blade at $395, or you can get this Damasteel version right here for $795. Blade is 3.5 inches long, narrow and tapering. You've got a very precise tip. Because of that narrow profile in the blade and narrow handle, it's going to be very kind in your pocket. It's not going to take up a ton of room. Flipping action. Excellent with the ball bearings right there. The inlays here are dark tie titanium inlays. And you've got a matching clip right here with a very cool finish going on. What are they calling this finish? Are they calling it anything? Just machined dark tie inlays. There you go. Backspacer as well kind of ties in with that theme. Just really, really nice details all around. Milled pocket clip secured from the inside, so no screws to interrupt that cool material there. And actually all the screws, the visible screws are here on the back. The front, despite being adorned rather heavily, is very clean of screws. Custom pivot here, comes with an adjustment tool, of course. Frame lock for the lock. The lock is a lock. Surprise, surprise. And the lockup is quite good. Yeah, I mean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Next up from WingmanEDC, we have, wait a minute. This last one was called the Mach 3. The Gorizont Mach 3. And this next knife is called the Toro Mach 3. Interesting. I wonder why they're using Mach 3 on both, because they're clearly very different knives. I don't know. This is a $350 knife with a 3¼ inch M390 blade, hollow ground, which we're starting to see a little bit more on like premium high-end powder metal steels like these. Traditionally, we've usually seen flat grinds more often because hollow grinds are purportedly harder to do on knives like this. Clean bead blasted titanium handle. You've got a hole in the front, which can be nice for kind of flipping it around in your hand like so in a fidgety manner if you're that sort of person. As you can see, I'm not doing great at that, so I'm not very practiced at that sort of fidgeting. Fuller in the back of the blade handle, which is interesting. And probably the standoutest feature here is the Lee Williams kickstop flipper, which is a separate piece right here. See how they move independently. Sticks out like a standard flipper in the closed position, but nests flush with the spine in the open position after sending the blade into the open position, of course. I apologize yet again for the words I am saying. Milled pocket clip, nice clean profile, good clip point shape for the folks who are into that. You've got a really, really good option with this particular knife. Other options? No, this is the option right now for that particular knife. Next up, we've got a couple of new knives from Remette. This is the Steed featuring their button actuated frame lock. So you can essentially use it like a button lock, get that finger safe closing action, wrist flick open or closed, or you could actuate the frame lock as you would normally actuate a frame lock. Both are available. Thumb studs is also the other option for opening if you don't want to do the wrist flick. Handful of versions in terms of color and inlay are available. This one is $275. I think they're all about the same price. I might go up a little bit from there. This one has black and yellow carbon fiber inlays, front and back. Green anodized pivot collar, really cool crowned backspacer with a hidden lanyard point. Decent ergonomics as well for a knife of this size. I can just barely get my my slightly larger than average hands in the standard hand hold right here, but it feels really nice floated a little bit back as well if I want to get my pinky back there. I feel like I'm repeating myself now, but it's true. Small unguarded finger choil there at the front. For me, it's kind of a fingertip choil. High flat grind, slightly on the thicker side there, so you've got durability, but the geometry is not going to be a super wedge. It should still slice pretty decently, and good action with that button actuation right there. Very nicely done. Very, very high quality for this price. Remette has been crushing it since we started carrying them last year for sure. The next is definitely more on the overbuilt side. This is the Cool Leopard from Remette at $325. 3½ inch blade, Tonto profile, modified Tonto, I would say.
It's reversed.
That is definitely not a reverse Tonto. You get out of town.
Look at the top.
Yeah, that's just a little clipped off bit.
Yeah, that's the reverse part of the reverse Tonto.
Website even says modified Tonto, so we're in agreement again. 3.54 inch M390 blade, chunky, as you can see, on the thicker side, and we've only got a saber height flat grind on it as well. So this definitely leans into like that wedge-like, hard use, heavy duty type of geometry. All titanium on the handle, frag pattern here in the back, and we've got a secondary safety right there, just in case you were worried about accidentally disengaging that frame lock, which is exceedingly difficult to do. Even so, we've got the safety right there. I wonder, does this work in... It does not work in the open position. That makes sense. Let's see. Let's try that reverse flick. There's a lot of mass to move on that blade, but it does work. Thumb studs or blade cut out for your standard opening, because there's no flipper in this case. I wonder, actually... Yeah, you could get out in front into that milled out section and do it that way as well. Either one. Chunky. I don't have anything more to say. It's really nice. It's really nicely made. GiantMouse. We will end with some rodents of unusual size. The first is the Biblio XL, ACE Biblio XL, $325 for this, I believe. This is made in Italy. Yes, it is. We have a really nice handle shape with a really nice contour and texture on it. The blade itself is MagnaCut in this modified sheep's foot shape. 3.2 inches. This is like, I love, Jens Anso and Jesper Vaknes, who, even though Jens has left the GiantMouse partnership within the last year, this shape has been, part of the lineup for years. I love those guys. And they have managed to create a blade shape with this, this series that is so difficult to categorize definitively.
I have an idea.
It is not a reverse Tonto, no matter, stop trying to make that happen here. You could make the argument that the tip is acute enough that it could be a modified Wharncliffe, but it's also kind of riding the line. Is it kind of sheep's footy? Is it a drop point? Is it a Canadian belt knife style blade? It rides the line of so many different things so beautifully well, and just kind of defies categorization a little bit. That is a cool thing and a difficult thing to do while still maintaining good utilitarian potential. And this certainly manages that as well. What can I say? I like it. It's cool. Next up, we have the Jagt from GiantMouse as well. All the rest of this stuff is GiantMouse. 3¼ inch L-Max blade, definitely a more skinning type profile here. Also made in Italy. This one's made by Lion Steel in particular, I can report. Comes with burlap micarta handles, inset liner lock, and of course we have a flipper on this bad boy in addition to the signature blade shape cutout. Really nice slicing profile. It is slightly on the thicker side, but you do have a full flat grind and just a great profile to the belly itself for those slicing cuts. Even some jimping out there midway along the spine for your index finger for executing those types of cuts in particular. And that crown spine is going to keep it comfortable when you're doing that too. Next up, the Iona V2, now with red linen micarta handles. I love linen micarta. What's my favorite type of micarta? We don't have time. It's not canvas though. I do love canvas, but it's not my favorite. $195 for this sub 3-inch blade, MagnaCut steel. Almost a straight backed Puko profile. There's just a hint of drop to it, but fits the hand nicely. The angle of the handle angles the tip downward, so you can still use the tip fairly effectively, even though it is almost a straight backed profile. Made in Italy again. We've got a milled, or a wire pocket clip, I should say, that is reversible. And the linen really changes the feel of this knife. It has a more silky, compliant feel to it. It's not slippery, but just nice, almost elegant in a different way compared to the titanium or canvas micarta versions we've seen before. Next up, we also have the ACE REO. You saw this in titanium just a couple of weeks ago. Now we have a green canvas micarta version. 215 here. Again, a MagnaCut blade. 3.325 inches and a nice narrow profile. Slightly on the thicker side. It's not a super slicer, but you do have a full flat grind. It's still going to slice decently. And that geometry out near the tip especially is very acute. And this is one of the narrowest of the GiantMouse knives when in the pocket as well. Really, really nice and clean. I almost said milled again. Wire pocket clip yet again with reversibility. Really, really nice knife. And the last, but very much not least, we have the kitchen knife. Chef's knife. It doesn't have any other name. 8.43 inch blade, $195. Comes with a Nitro B blade. Nice crowned spine, comfortable micarta handles, with a really nice shape to it overall. Not that you would normally be gripping a chef's knife like this. It does feel comfortable in that grip. You should be holding a chef knife most often like this, pinching right there. And if the chef knife is well designed, it will be pretty perfectly balanced on that pinch point. And guess what? It's pretty perfectly balanced right along that pinch point. That's going to make it easier to use over long sessions of food prep because you're not fighting the knife to get your work done. The knife is in sync with how you're going to be holding it. It's got a really nice feel on the cutting board. It doesn't clunk down, has a really nice rocking chop to it. And of course, it's going to be able to pull long slices really, really nicely too. That's all I got for today, folks. Let me know what you thought of the knives down in the comments. And to get your hands on one for yourself, check out the links in the description or the QR codes we've been showing throughout this video, which will take you to KnifeCenter.com. And don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program or Apple Pay and Sezzle options for buy now, pay later at checkout. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera. We're signing off. See you next time.